Board to order. Roll call.
Anderson,
Here.
Vitek,
Here.
Huber,
Here.
Schultz excused. Ader,
Here.
Mendel, Murdig,
Here.
Ellefson,
Here.
Trudeau,
Here.
Negro,
Here.
Metzinger,
Here.
Campbell,
Here.
Ray excused. Kinney,
Here.
Hufall,
Here.
Brannick,
Here.
Stark,
Here.
Stendor,
Here.
Reamer,
Here.
17 present.
What's it? How many? 17? Okay. Okay. We'll have a moment of silence followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. We need a motion to approve the agenda.
Ron Stender will make a motion to approve the agenda.
Motion by Ron Sindor,
Rich Huber, I'll second it.
second by Rich Huber. Any questions? All those in favor of approving the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Public comment. Do we have anybody? No one's here for public comment. Anybody online for public comment? Oh, there is a hand.
My name is Jim Brennan. I'm the I'm the chair of the Morse Comprehensive Planning Committee, and I've worked on the Morse Mellon Community Development Plan. And I see on your agenda you have a motion, you have a resolution to support the dark sky designation for Copper Falls State Park. And first of all, I would like to thank you for supporting that effort in the past. In April, you resolved to support the Dark Sky Week. This would be a resolution to support the application for an international designation of Copper Falls as a dark sky park. And I'm just here to urge you to adopt that resolution. An application is in the works, and the support of Ashland County would be greatly appreciated. And so I thank you for your time this morning.
Thank you for your comments. Any other comments? Hearing none, we'll go to the regular agenda. Approval of the June 18th, 2024 amended county board minutes and August 6th, 2024 county board minutes. Is there a motion?
Tom Reamer, I'll make the motion.
Tom Reamer makes a motion.
Ron Stender will second.
Ron Sindor seconds. Questions, changes, corrections? All those in favor say aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you. Appoint Dave Mindel to the County Board Supervisor, District 20. Mr. Metzinger.
I'd like to make a motion to appoint Dave Mindel to the County Board Supervisor for District Number 20.
Is there a second?
This is Laura Negro. I'll second that.
Motion by Bill Metzinger, second by Laura Negro. Questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Heather?
Chris is at a meeting today. But this is an annual report that the Forestry Committee does every year. And so I'd ask the board to approve it.
Is there a motion to approve? Bill?
I'll make a motion to approve as presented. The forestry department did look at this motion. I passed it.
Okay, motion by Bill Metzingers. Marty? Second by Marty Vitek. Questions? Pat?
Buckthorn is an issue around here, Ashland in particular, Down County apparently not so much so. But in the forestry plan, they mentioned dealing with new invasive species. Buckthorn has been around a long time, so it's probably not what we would consider new here. I guess I'd encourage the forestry committee to consider the impacts of buckthorn. I did talk to the highway commissioner a week or so ago. We see a lot of it on the roadside. It spreads and it just resprouts if it's cut down. It needs to be, treated to be effectively knocked out. And it just, as I look at woods where buckthorn is coming in, it clearly has an impact on regenerating forests, which in this county is important to us, both for the county forest, but also private landowners. And I guess I just encourage the forestry department, the highway department, land and water conservation department to see if there are ways that we could at least slow the spread of buckthorn and the impacts that it has. And I'm not sure what the answer is. I think we need to do research to see what is reasonable, what's most cost effective. But I'd like to see the forestry committee to consider, what, if anything, that we can do to try to slow or mitigate that going forward. I think as an investment in the county in the long run, it's good because these woods that I see, like I live near Northland, it's just all buckthorn in the understory. Woods in areas that I've seen that have been cut over, when the sunlight gets at the forest floor, we're used to poplar regenerating, things like that, but that buckthorn really explodes in areas where there are seeds once that's cut over. So just a comment to think about going forward.
Good, thank you. And members of the forestry department can take that back. Good, thank you, Pat. We do have the motion. Okay, so there's a motion and a second to approve the annual report. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Forestry annual work plan.
Every year, the forestry department presents a plan of work, what they're gonna do next year. It has our proposed timber harvest and what they'll be working on throughout the 2025. Forestry committee already approved this.
Marty,
I move we approve the annual work plan.
motion by Marty's. Bill,
I would second that motion.
second by Bill Messinger. Questions on the work plan? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Resolution R09 2024 1482 County Forest Variable Acreage Share Payment.
Again, this is something we do every year. We get a loan and pay it back with our stumpage money. Forestry committee already approved this too.
Laura?
I'll make a motion that we pass this resolution.
Motion by Laura Negro. Is there a second?
Ron Stender will second.
Second by Ron Sindor. Questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Approve Sheriff Deputy's Contract 24-25.
Hey, this one is a long one coming. The sheriff's deputies changed unions last year. And negotiations didn't start until the end of February due to their change in attorneys. Their attorney just took forever to get their side done. So that's why we're here we are today. Essentially deputies are keeping up with all the other police forces in the region. The rate of increase is actually less than the city of Ashland. We're going up 5%. Ashland went up 8%. Yeah. And with the difficulty of obtaining law enforcement, the sheriff and I both recommend approval.
Is there a motion to approve? Laura?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Laura Negro.
Ron Stender will second.
Ron Sindor seconds. Is there any questions? Mr. Messinger?
I'd just like to point out that this contract is for 2024 and 2025 also.
That's correct.
Blake?
We approved, I believe, hiring 4 new sheriff deputies, two.
Two.
Have those been hired?
No, they have not been hired. It's gonna take us a while to hire somebody. I wouldn't expect to see the 2 new deputies actually on the force until next year sometime.
Laura?
So beyond the 5% increase and such, what else was changed in this contract?
We adjusted their vacation to how they take it to reflect how they actually work. Before it was, when they took vacation, they only get 8 hours, but they work 11-hour shifts. So they're not really getting a full day off. So the total number of hours are the same, but it just allows them to get paid for a full day off when they take a day off.
That's it.
Other than that, it aligns everything else with the current handbook. So they're treated like every other employee.
Next time we have this, it would be handy to have the changes that are in it listed, so that way we don't have to ask the questions about it.
Yeah, sure.
Any other questions? So we have a motion and a second to approve the sheriff's contract for 24-25. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Resolution R 09-2024-1483, resolution for inclusion under the Wisconsin Public Employers Group Health Insurance Program.
Okay, so the finance committee is looking at health insurance. And one of the options they're considering is moving away from self-funding and moving on to the state insurance plan. In order to do that, we need to pass this resolution by October 1st. Does not bind the county into going into the state insurance plan. So executive and finance still have a chance to look at the numbers, which are still coming together, decide what is the best option for the county and the employees. But this resolution gives us the option to do so, to move to the state.
Is there a motion?
Ron Stender will make a motion
Ron
to
Cinder
accept
makes a motion.
the
Rich,
resolution. Rich Huber second it.
second by Rich Huber. Discussion. Laura?
How did the committee pick the deductible HMO standard PPO with dental out of all those options?
That was the same plan Bayfield County picked. So
That's why we picked it.
Well, we wanted to make sure that if we are going to move to the state, that we had similar coverage for both employee retention and recruitment.
I would hope next time that there would be a little more digging into that besides just because Bayfield County did it.
Well, again, we want to make sure that we could recruit and retain people. And so we had to have, they wanted to go to a similar plan.
And if something happens and that's not the option that we end up needing, do we have to pass another resolution because nothing else is checked on there?
No, we do not have to pass another resolution.
Pat?
Could you elaborate on that question by speaking to dental in particular, which this includes?
Sure. This plan, well, it's not only standard health insurance, but has dental built into it. As I don't know how many on the board are aware, but we have been undercharging for dental insurance for a long time. In any given year, we're over $60,000 to $100,000. So this would bundle dental into the entire premium that everybody pays. One of the reasons why the state plan was looked at is because it's a much larger pool than our current 127 people. And so the rates are naturally going to be better. This plan also offers as add-ons, which employees would pay, vision, hearing, short-term disability. There's a flex plan in here. There's a wellness component. So there's a lot of different things, but the dental coverage is pretty much exactly the same as we have now. All in all, it's going to cost the county less and employees less after a couple of years.
Another question, when finance will look into that, is under the state's health insurance plans, whether or not we go to it or not. The question will be the drug coverage. Under current state plans, and I'm not saying this is a local plan, but under the state plans, the drug coverage is included in the premium. There's no additional charge for drug coverage, except for your normal $5 or $10, depending on tier. So that's something finance will have to ask the state. Is the local plan include the drug coverage also? Because I know it's in the normal.
It does.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? So we have a motion and a second to approve resolution RO9 2024-1483. No other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Resolution R09 2024-1484 Copper Falls State Park Dark Sky Designation Resolution. Is there a motion, Marty?
I move we approve the dark sky resolution.
Okay, motion by Marty. Rich?
Rich Huber, I'll second it.
Second by Rich Huber. Questions? Seeing none, all those in favor of approving resolution R09 2024-1484 say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Opposed? Motion carried. Resolution R09 2024-1485, resolution supporting greater public accessibility to the David R. Obey Great Lakes Visitor Center. Bill?
I'd like to amend that motion to make the dates from Memorial Day weekend to October 17th. When we were discussing this resolution, we didn't realize that Apple Festival and Whistle Stop wouldn't have been included. And the way it's worded now, it wouldn't start till after Memorial Day. I had taken my grandchildren out to the visitor center on Tuesday, and it was raining that day, and I was talking to a lady there, and she says, well, we're closed Sunday and Monday. And I said, you're closed Sunday and Monday during the height of traveling and tourists and stuff. And they said, yeah, we don't have any funding, so therefore we have to be closed those 2 days. And I said, well, we're always talking about tourism, 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 and here you are closed. So that's where this resolution came about. I felt that, and the committee did too, that it should be opened full time during the summer.
Okay, and Bill, this is you forwarded this resolution, so you're asking it to be amended.
Yeah, yes,
Okay.
I had forwarded this to the executive committee and the executive committee did pass it, but the dates I didn't quite get right.
Okay, so your motion is to amend the resolution to go from Memorial Day to October 7th.
Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah. And
Oh.
add weekend, because Memorial Day is a Monday. So if you say weekend, you're talking
Correct.
Friday. And then through the third week in October, that would cover the whistle stop.
Third week. Is that good for you, Bill?
Oh, it's good.
Mr. Kinney?
I'll second.
Okay, motion's been made and second to amend. Questions? Lake?
So I have children. I was out there a couple times this summer. Very impressed with the facility. Highly underutilized right now. So I spoke to the executive director there. They have really no choice right now to be closed because of the funding. And so I'm cautioning us to pass a resolution without kicking money towards them for this. Because we're gonna require a Bayfield County to stay open, but we're not recommending putting any money towards that? Is that what I'm understanding?
Bill? You have,
This is Bill. We have money for everything else. And tourism is very important. And Bayfield County is not kicking any money into this, and neither is Ashland County. It's the state of Wisconsin. And as far as I understand, is that correct?
It's the United States Forest Service.
Yeah,
So
well,
it's the
it's
federal government. The building is shared with the State Historical Society and UW Extension. They're both partners in that building, but the building is run by the United States Forest Service.
well, yeah. If I could just go on, I'd like Bayfield County to go ahead and pass this, and both resolutions sent to our legislatures. We're going to possibly have some changes, but I feel it's really important for this area. So that's why I kind of pushed this.
okay, Liz?
I'd like to echo those sentiments exactly. It has wonderful educational purposes there, and they do fishing for the kids. They do a lot of things, and you can also rent a room. I had my bridal shower there 11 years ago. It's wonderful for the people that like to bird watch. In the winter too, they can have access to going across country skiing or snowshoeing. So it's a beautiful location. It's a wonderful thing. Let's get the state to kick in some funding to get this open more.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, Supervisor Busset?
Right. It seems to me that we should be asking the Forest Service to seek additional funding to support the opening of the visitor center on weekends at the very least year round, because winter activities are becoming increasingly important to us. And there are a few places you can go sometimes in the colder months. People are visiting, and if they can't keep it open 7 days a week, they should at least have it open on weekends for people to be taking their visiting guests as a location in our community.
Good, thank you. Mr. Kinney?
Congressman Tiffany, as I think we all know, has proposed changing the Apostle Island Lakeshore to an apostle or to a national park. The rationale is it would increase tourism. I think it's important this resolution gets sent to him because he's actually in the position to affect the budget for the Forest Service. If we're going to consider changing that to a national park to increase tourism, then we should have the building open that was built where it is to support tourism in this area. That's an investment that if they consider making it a national park in the Apostle Islands, they need to make sure that we have that facility funded and opened as part of the plan.
Mr. Kinney, we'll send the resolution to our state legislators, our federal legislators, and to the head of the U.S. Forest Service and to the Secretary of Agriculture, who the Forest Service is under.
Blake,
I would also like to task the administrator with finding ways for our county to work on leveraging that facility as well. And talking with them, both the Ashland and Bayfield counties could use that space, I think, for things. And so I would just ask Dan Grady, because I'm very supportive. I didn't mean to be unsupportive. I'm very supportive of getting this building utilized and open more. It's a treasure. So yeah, I just think Dan, continue to work with Mark, with Bayfield County to get us using that building, keeping it open.
thank you. Liz?
I'm wondering if NATO could be involved, the Native American Tour Organization, because of all the cultural, multicultural events that they could promote in that building also. Thank you.
Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, Heather, but do we need a motion? Okay,
Metzinger made the motion, Kinney second on the amendment. We need to vote on the amendment.
okay,
Yeah, we never took up the issue. We never took up the item.
okay, so,
So we never took up the item so that to amend, that you
Right.
could then amend.
so we'll need a motion to approve resolution RO 2024-1485 first, and then we'll amend it. Laura
I'll make that motion.
Negro makes a motion, Ron
Ron
Sindor
Sender, second.
seconds it. All those in favor of taking up the resolution, say aye.
Aye.
Oppose, motion carried. Now the amendment. The amendment is from Memorial Day weekend through the third week of October, correct? Okay,
That's correct.
okay. Is there a motion to approve the resolution as proposed, amended?
I'll make that motion.
I thought I already made it.
Dick?
Yeah.
Okay,
Point of order.
It-
They already did that. We just kind of set it aside, so the motion and the second on the amended part is already just had to
Are you
scoot it back
okay?
up to the top.
okay. Good. All those in favor of that, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Thank you. Everybody needs to be corrected once in a while. Okay, so now we need a motion to approve the resolution as amended. Ms. Negro
I'll make that motion.
makes a motion. Laura Negro,
Stender will second.
Ron Sindor seconds. Questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Administrator updates.
Okay, well, we're in the thick of budget right now, and I can tell you it's not looking pretty, but we'll get through it. So the big item we have is the building is done. In your packet, I just got this yesterday. So, you can see how they recommend we move forward with the building. And they show examples of what actual work they did. So, kind of neat to look at. And I wanted to show this to you guys first and then I'll sign the warranty later today. After you guys.
Mr. Master?
What was the total cost of fixing the roof? And the building that Ashland County had to put out?
So the total cost of this project was approximately $950,000. That encompassed tuck pointing the entire building, resealing, caulking that had been dried out, and fixing a big hole in the roof. The entire funding was paid for with ARPA funding. So there was no county tax dollars paid for this project. We used federal dollars for the project. But it is now complete and the building will not fall down on us. So the other big thing I have is this morning, Supervisor McPhee from District 13 resigned his seat. So that seat is now open and I will be in contact with Bad River to see if they know somebody to take that seat. If anybody else here knows, it's basically Odana. And he resigned just because he's too busy at the housing authority.
That it?
Yeah, that's it. And that's it.
Any questions of Dan? Okay, County Board Supervisors, I do have one thing I want to just mention in case you get it. I was at a town meeting a week or two ago and several town supervisors says, oh, where's the new county plat book? And I said, I'm not sure what you're talking about. They said, well, we got a postcard. Then I checked it out. There's a private company that sent a postcard to people about a new county plat book. It has nothing to do with Ashland County. It's a private company. So if somebody says, where's our new plat book? There isn't one at this point. So I just, apparently if I did get a postcard, I didn't read it. But just in case somebody sees that. Does anybody else have anything? Liz?
Yeah, the food truck festival was very big success downtown Ashland, promoting our community. I've heard people saying that they'd love to see this happen more often. I've heard mixed reviews though. Bars and restaurants were kind of upset, but I did hear from the persons that were setting this up that they would like to have the area restaurants involved, so I want that to go public. That if we do have one in the future, if anybody knows any good chefs from restaurants, tell them to get a hold of the Ashland Area Development Corporation. We need more events like this. This could be a big tourism buff. I could see them having it in a different location, getting bigger, being a 2-day festival. That would increase the lodging in our community. They would spend money in our community. I've heard food trucks from all the way down from Madison want to be involved. So if this could get bigger and better, we could utilize the Ashland County Fairgrounds if possible. You know, to get some money in that area and maybe have a music event tied with it. Another point I just wanted to touch on is crime in our community. If anybody has a scanner, they know it's getting worse and not better. We're getting towards the area of the season where it's gonna get cold and we don't know what's gonna happen with these people that are homeless. Not all of them are criminals, but they go to criminal activity out of desperation, some of them. A lot of them are mentally ill, some tied in with drug and alcohol use. Another thing is the crime with the drugs. If anybody knows any ideas to, you know, put forth to the committees that fight these crimes. Thank you.
Thank you, Liz. Anyone else? Then we're looking at a motion to adjourn. Oh, Bill?
Before we adjourn, maybe we should discuss our next meeting. It's scheduled for October 29th.
Yep.
And what it's going to be about.
The meeting is October 29th, and that's when we pass the budget and tax levy. So, and that date was picked because the following Tuesday is election day. And after that, this room is needed for 2 weeks.
Blake,
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
motion made to adjourn. Is there a second?
This is Huber. I'll second it.
Rich seconds it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Can't oppose it, so